So hi, my name is Sefu Sani. I am an artist. I am the founder of Makomanda Band, and it's a band full of women, and we do music. I'm an artist. I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm a feminist. Yes, and today we are here at the Kenya National Theatre. We are celebrating Pan-African Women's Day. So it's on the 31st of July, and this day usually celebrates women of African descent. Tunamaanisha kwamba tunasherehekea wanawake wa Kiafrika. Na tukisema wanawake wa Kiafrika hatumaanishi kwamba tunasherehekea wanawake walio Afrika peke yao. Wanawake wote wa Kiafrika ambao wako duniani leo ni siku yao. So today we celebrate all women of African descent globally, and it's our day, so we are here at the KNT, and we have been having a couple of discussions about our food sovereignty. We have spoken about those who have gone before us, like Bena Buluma, like Joyce Adhiambo, like Zarina Patel, and all the people that we lost during the Reject Finance Bill, who are young people, and especially the women who are found in Kware, and all other women who have done significantly well in our society. We celebrate them today. So that is why we've been here. I had an opportunity to do a couple of songs, and they were very great. Of course, they were speaking truth to power, to our situation now, even as we see where the country is and where us as young people, we want to lead the country.
There is this notion by the general public that every day women are finding things to celebrate. We have Girlfriend's Day that is coming, we have Women's Day. What makes this Pan-African Women's Day different from maybe Women's Day, the other Women's Day that we know?
Okay, I've never heard of Girlfriend's Day. You're making
it's 1st August.
It's Girlfriend's Day.
Imagine!
Tomorrow.
Imagine! So I've never heard of so many men having so many celebrations. But what makes this now Pan-African Women's Day different from either Women's Day or any other day that we take to celebrate women?
All right, International Women's Day, which we mark in March, and subsequently International Women's Month, it celebrates all women, all of them across the world, Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, African. We celebrate all women, and of course their roles and everything. When we talk about Pan-African Women's Day, I was very clear that Pan-African Women's Day celebrates women of African descent. Yani tunasherehekea wanawake weusi duniani. So there's a difference because this is specifically for black women, and we have seen the struggles of black women over time. I mean, ever since time immemorial, even in the 16th century, mostly it was black women and children who were taken as slaves to other countries when we had the transatlantic slave trade. So the sufferings of the women, the rape that we saw that women had to endure, even during the Mau Mau time, when most of the people were in the forests, our African women were there. They were tending to the children. They were ensuring that food is being taken to the forest. Some of them were even commanders. They had to leave their families. So we are celebrating the role of African women, basically. So the only difference is that on International Women's Day, it is everyone. It's a blanket. But on today, we celebrate women of African descent, their struggles, their contributions to society. When we look at countries in Europe and America, we see the issue of racial injustice, which comes out. And racial injustice is whereby people are looked down upon because of their skin color. So this is something that we are coming out to fight against. I'm sure in America, in Europe, this is something that they're coming out to speak about, that you do not have to discriminate upon me because of my skin color, because of my hair. In some countries, women are not allowed to actually have their African hair because it's too nappy. But this is our natural hair and how it grows from our roots. So these are the things that we are fighting for, and for African women to be seen, across the globe.
You're talking about women being seen, and this particular era and time, you can see even our parliament doesn't reach the threshold of 2/3 gender role. What does this make you feel as we celebrate our Pan-African women, and even in other states and other countries? We can see that women are not so much involved in politics. They have not yet reached that particular status. What does this make you feel, and what is your vision as we celebrate Pan-African women?
Tuungane pamoja, kauli mbiu moja, wakati ni sasa. Vota dada, wamama msilale, wakati wetu umefika, wanawake msilale. Vota Dada. That's a song I've done. It's called Vota Dada. It is inspiring women to want to be voted for. It's calling out to society to have a representation of women in everywhere, katika uchaguzi, katika uongozi, not just in political seats, in our churches, in our communities. Mkitaka kuchagua mkubwa wa estate, mkienda mahali, it is calling out for women to take up leadership roles, but also for society to acknowledge that we need this. And this goes all the way to Parliament, all the way to our cabinet secretaries. Even when we saw, of course, the cabinet secretaries, the two-thirds gender rule has not been adhered to. When it comes to Parliament, the two-third gender rule has not been adhered to. And of course, the two-third gender rule here would apply to both genders. If we had a majority of women, we would ensure that at least there's a third of men. But now that we have a majority of men, what we are calling for is at least to have a third of our leadership to be women. And it's a call that we are out here today, and you can see we are writing songs about it to also sensitize the society and for us to be able to get into leadership, because as Mao says, women make half the sky. So when you look at planet Earth, for example, we are 50-50. We have men and we have women. So even in representation, we should be able to have both of these represented well.
Yeah. Final question as we come to a conclusion, because one I can't kufukuza, yeah. And I want to pin you on this one, yeah, because now you created the positions of the women representatives in Parliament so that they can be able to try and be able to get on this particular threshold of two-third gender role, yeah. But at the same time, there are some people who are coming up even after the finance bill and saying that some of these they are not making sense, yeah. They are not serving the purpose that is supposed to be served, yeah. What do you think about this? Do you think that opportunity that women were given to be women representatives was worth it?
You know what? The only problem is delivery. We need to see what it has done, what affirmative action that it has done. It is good for us to have seats for women, but even when we have these seats, they should be, we should get these seats out of merit, out of delivery, out of integrity. It should not be that we are pushing, maybe our girlfriends, or we are rewarding certain people, through other means. So when we have women who actually do, what the role that they were supposed to do, because the role of these women was to legislate for the women. They go to Parliament as members of National Assembly for them to be able to pass legislation, and especially legislation that deals with women. We have not really seen this in the manner that we would like to see it. That does not mean that it is not possible. It is possible with education and with a good crop of leaders who actually do what it is that we are supposed to deliver for the women.
I'm always saying a final question, then another question pops up. Yeah, we saw that people are recommending that the office of the deputy wife of the deputy president and the office of the wife of the president to be scrapped out of the budget. Yeah, some may argue out, that these particular women are being funded to empower their fellow women, or to be able to empower women to be able to do more projects that can be able to empower the society. Yeah, what do you think about this? Do you think that defunding the offices of these first ladies is putting the woman down, or is acting according to the constitution? What do you think about this?
Those roles should be scrapped in totality. It is
Don't you think this one will be taken?
It is absolutely diabolical that we can have an office of the First Lady with 500 million shillings as a budget. We have not paid our JSS teachers. We have not paid our intern doctors. I mean, what is our priority here? The office of the First Lady, the Second Lady, and the spouse to the, Prime Minister. Those are irrelevant offices. Their role is not for the empowering of women. If anything, we have people who we have elected into Parliament. That is why we have members of National Assembly, MNAs, who actually go in as women representatives. They have their job. Of course, we honor that the president has a wife, and really the purpose is for leadership. Meaning that you have leadership in a family, and from a family you can come up to lead a society. But it's not for them to have exorbitant budgets. Those budgets should be scrapped off in totality. They are unconstitutional, and we have other better socio-economic rights where we can channel these funds to. So these women already have a platform. They do not need such an amount of money. 500 million. No.
Okay, so thank you. Don't you think this one will be taken like going against your Pan-African women?
how does it go about against Pan-African women? You know, it's not that we are just promoting women blindly. For example, we have Bena Buluma, who has just lost her life. Mama Victor, she was there in Madare. This lady has died because she had no shelter. This lady has died because the floods were sweeping her away. Do you mean to tell me that if we had had affordable housing with that 500 million or 1 billion now, if we combine, for the people in Madare, even for the women in Madare, let's say we have a shelter of 1 billion, would it have been much better than to have 500 million going to the office of the First Lady? Because this money is not even for projects. The money is for the people who are working in her office. I mean, it's not going against. If anything, it is fighting for women. And even as we are fighting for women, I mean, it doesn't mean that anything that a woman does is correct. One woman can be the one who is actually subversing all the rest. So we need to fight for adequate rights for women. When we are fighting against something like patriarchy, it can be a woman herself who is the one who is advocating for patriarchy. So we need to fight against that. So if this office of 2 people is going to subvert the rights of 1 million women, why should we have 2 women benefiting at the expense of 1 million other women? Yes. So this is what we are saying, and of course it does not go against Pan-African women and Pan-African Women's Day and what we are advocating for. We want socio-economic rights for the people in society. If one person is earning 2 billion and me, I'm there dying and I'm with 1,000 other women dying, what would you rather have, even if it was you? Would you rather have this person earning 2 billion or helping this 1,000 women?
Of course, helping the 1,000 women. As we come to a conclusion, as usual, what is your call to action today on this day of Pan-Africanism and celebrating Women's Day?
My call to action goes to the mothers of the victims who died during the Reject Finance Bill, and it is for us to rise up as women because these are our children. My call for action goes to these women, that we celebrate you, that we feel you, that we're in solidarity with you, and as women of this country, let us come out and fight for our rights.
Thank you so much, Sefu, for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.